Welcome to Cinephile Entertainment. I'm the Cinephile critic and today I'll be reviewing this movie. I told you to keep your hair out of your eyes. There is no hiding from God. The Miseducation of Cameron Post. So The Miseducation of Cameron Post is directed by Desiree Akhavan and stars Chloe Grace Moretz as Cameron, Queen Shepherd as Coley, Sasha Lane as Jane, Jennifer L as Dr. Linda, Forrest Goodluck as Adam, Emily Skeggs as Erin. So The Miseducation of Cameron Post is a film about a girl who is lesbian. She's grown up in this small village where it's very much a heavy Christian present in this particular small village. A partner who I would say is probably bisexual. At a school dance, they end up getting caught having sex. Cameron is sent to a Christian camp to get the gay out of her, or the lesbian out of her, so that she can then live a normal Christian, God-fearing life. That is kind of like what this film is about. When I first saw this film title and I saw The Miseducation of, I was like, oh, this better be a damn good film, because when you have The Miseducation of, because Lauryn Hill did, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, which was a fantastic album. I'm telling you, it was like amazing. It still holds up to this day. And then you have a film that says Miseducation of, because Lauryn Hill set the bar so high. Anything that has The Miseducation of, I'm looking for it to be just as good or better than what Lauryn Hill does. Now, that's a very tall order. That's why I personally wouldn't have The Miseducation of in this film. I would have named this film something else. But since they want to be cute with it, they named it The Miseducation of Cameron Post. And personally, this film does not live up to Lauryn Hill standards. The film is supposed to be about young people who have been rejected by the community and their family for either being gay or lesbian. So they're part of the LGBT community and they have been forced to go into this particular type of camp. They are being indoctrinated in Christianity. And I will use those quotes, indoctrinated in Christianity. What you have in this particular situation, instead of having conflict with their sexuality within themselves, the conflict of their sexuality is forced upon them due to this camp that they go in. Because to be honest, none of the kids change really, and from being gay to straight, all that happens really is they just hide it more. It's not that they're not thinking about it, it's just that they just go along with the status quo so they can seem like they're getting better, so they can just get out of this camp. Now, the issues that I have with this film is not really centered around that theme and that topic that they bring up about these kids being LGBT and they're sent in, a camp to rid them of their LGBT-ness. This is not that film. And I can't help wondering if, the director or the screenplay writer or the producer or the executive producer, but one of those people, those higher up people, they were rejected by people who identified as being Christian. One of those people were extremely hurt by Christian. They were made to feel another way. They have done is they have internalized it and they thought, you know what, when I get into a position of power, I'm going to tell people how much I can't stand Christians and I'm going to show how crazy, how wicked. One of those people went through that, because this film is not really about the LGBT community and it's not about the situation that arises. That I feel that there is a story that needs to be told in those situations of teenagers or young adults that find themselves experimenting with their sexuality, or they know who they are when they are sent to these types of camp. There is definitely a story to be told, concerning that. But this is not the film, because this film is on I hate Christian. What really irritates me about this film is the characters. They are wasted potential because the story does not go far enough enough into their situation. And so what you have at the end of the film is there is no resolution. It's open-ended. This is not a film about the LGBT community, not really about Cameron Post. Contemplation time, seeing the different movements and emotions on actors' faces. I love all of that. But in this film, there's too much spaces and there's not enough content. Probably one scene that is really heartbreaking and interesting with this boy who is gay and wants to go home, but his family's still not accepting it. Like, those sort of things are real issues. And I feel that this film, because of someone was hurt by Christian, instead of focusing on the plight of these people, of these kids that are going through rejection and dealing with their sexuality. Like, that is what this film should have been focused on. And, entwine that whole story, the crudent and the disgust of a cult of Christians, like a type of Christians that they could obviously display in this film, but this is not that film. Because this film was so bad, I am actually going to do a film that I think done it better. Certain patterns that is similar in this film. And the film that I'm talking about, Professor Marston and the Wonder Woman. That is the film I'm going to do a review on, because this film ain't shit and that film is much better in terms of the topic that it's actually trying to display and unfold and engage with the audience. I don't care what anyone says, this film is more of a vendetta against a certain type of people that can be extremists in society than it is about these LGBT kids. And this is why I'm going to rate this film as a snooze fest, because it raises interesting themes and explores hardly any of them apart from one: the radicals Christian. No resolution, there's no character arc in this situation. One of the characters I did like was Adam, wasted potential. Cameron, wasted potential. They don't go deep enough into her story. I think that needed to be a lot more content, a lot more in-depth situation insight to these children. There is some parts that is good, and the only reason why I'm not giving it my lowest rating, that scene with that boy who wants to go home and cannot go home because his father still won't allow him, that scene prevents this film from being at the bottom of my rating system. So have you seen this film? What do you think about this film? I would love to know your opinions. Let's get this conversation started. And thank you for watching my review. If you liked what you saw, then please subscribe. If you're thinking, wait girl, wait, I want to see more, then hopefully I will see you again. And remember, until next time, keep safe. Take care. Bye.